Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm thrilled to get together. It's been a while since we've had one of our webinars in the afternoon. We call them tea at 3. Some people have a little something stronger than tea, but it's whatever you'd like to have. I'm here today with a great employee of ours, a great friend, and one of our 5-star tour directors that's going to host this great trip to Quebec's magical Christmas markets. So that's what we're going to talk about here today. And before we begin, I'll do the housekeeping items. If you have any questions, you can type them into the question box and we'll answer them at the end of our presentation. And once again, it is being recorded. And for those that may not have been able to attend, or if you find this may be something that other people would like to hear about, if you let reservations at atlantictours.com, that's the email address, reservations at atlantictours.com, know, we can forward this recording to them to listen to. It'll also be up on our website. And we are so looking forward to something different. This is a tour that we've not done before, and we're very excited. So Karen, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Well, thank you, Richard. And a new tour for 2023, Christmas markets, and they indeed are magical. This will be a lot of European flair, and we're traveling right in Canada. So let's start the slideshows.
Absolutely. Hopefully. Here we go.
There we go. So the itinerary, we're leaving from Halifax. Our first day is driving Halifax to Edmundston. But just because you're not from Halifax doesn't mean you can't join this tour. So if you're the Annapolis Valley or South Shore, give reservations a call to talk about transfers into the city to join the tour. And then all points between Halifax to Edmundston, if you're in Prince Edward Island also, how can you join the tour? We can easily pick you up in Amherst or Moncton. We'll be going right by Fredericton as we make our way to Edmundston for the first night. And that's really our jumping off point. So that day will be a lot of Christmas entertainment on board the coach, which I'm already plotting and scheming. Wonderful accommodation in Edmundston. And then the next day, Edmundston right into Montreal. What are we going to do in Montreal? Well, it's the Great Christmas Market. And look at our beautiful wrapped coach. This is our accommodation in Edmundston. And just that first day, we are covering ground, but it will be a great positioning day for the next day to make it shorter, getting into Montreal, getting checked into our hotel for 2 nights when we get to Montreal. And that's the great part. It's 2 nights in Montreal, 2 nights in Quebec City. And the markets themselves, as I mentioned, there's the European markets. I mean, Richard, you're going to be just coming off of the Christmas markets.
Absolutely. That's it's crazy that we're both doing Christmas markets this year. I happen to be doing the one in Europe, but this one right here close to home, I've not done. I've heard great things about. And Montreal, who doesn't love Montreal for shopping during the holiday season to start with? And our hotels are all perfectly located for both Montreal and Quebec City.
Oh, walking distance.
Walking distance, and the Montreal markets are quite beautiful in the fact that outdoors, the chalet style. Usually, there's about 70 or 80 vendors at these markets, all handmade items, and so it will be a fabulous time, and having the motor coach with us, there's always room to bring stuff back. So that's always, unlike when you fly somewhere, you get more limited and you have to be more creative on what you can bring home. But
absolutely,
with the motor coach, there's lots of space.
And the first night that we're there for the markets, they opened they're 3 to 9 that day, which will be great because we'll be able to go in and see things by daylight. But then the lights will start coming on, and it will become more of a festive mood or mode. And like we both said, it's walking distance back to our hotel. So if you're not interested in traveling all along as a group and want to break off, we're not far away at all. So Montreal time, there'll be time for extra shopping as well. And Richard makes a really good point, having the motor coach with us. We're well versed in bringing coaches back from the States after shopping tours. So this will be a very easy jaunt because we have no borders to cross.
And I mean, this photo is a great example of what the markets look like when you're out and about, and there may be some snow, may not. We can't guess that anymore here in Atlantic Canada or throughout the country with the way things have changed. But either way, it'll be a great experience, and I think what people also enjoy above and beyond what they can carry back home is what they can consume while they're there. There's all of the mulled wines and various foods and things like that that they can try as well. So it is a great experience. And I'll move on to another photo here shortly. But after we're done in Montreal,
we're going to make our way to Quebec City, and Montreal will be beautifully decorated. Quebec City just pulls out all the stops, and this will be Christmas on steroids. It's just what a wonderful ramp up to the Christmas season.
Well, Quebec City is certainly one of my favorite cities. Rendezvous Canada, one of the trade shows that I attend every year, just was in Quebec City. And so it reminds me every time I go that I need to go more often. It's one of my favorite places to go. And the hotel that we're using, I should jump back to Montreal for a second. The hotel that we're using in Montreal is the Doubletree by Hilton, a beautiful property, and as Karen said, well appointed, very close to the markets, very close to shopping. So it won't be any problem. Now, in Quebec City, one of my favorite hotels, we're at the Manoir Victoria.
Oh, nice.
And the Manoir Victoria is in the old city. So you're in the walled part of the city. And I mean, Quebec City, was built on a hill, but, we're on the hill. So once we're at the Manoir Victoria, then it's easy walking to all the shops. I mean, just up the street is the original Simon's department store. That's, one that's coming here to Halifax very shortly. They're working on in the old Sears building. And, but, other shops are all around, but then we're going to do the markets as well. And just outside of the hotel, there's endless numbers of great restaurants to go to, and I don't suspect you'll be sitting out other than a hot beverage maybe, but I was sitting out when I was there this spring on the cafes and the pubs, and it was just wonderful to explore Quebec City. Now, another great thing that we have set up in Quebec City is a walking tour. So you're going to learn a little bit about the city and get out and explore.
And with this tour, there's ample scheduled time, events like the walking tour, but you will have so much independent time or free time to get out and do your own thing. And I mean, look at these images. It's just, I'm gearing up for Christmas already. Richard didn't get dressed up for Christmas. I even brought a Christmas hat with me today.
Absolutely important. And I mean, very close to your hotel, as I said, not only the shopping, but the historic sites. I mean, you have the Chateau Frontenac just up the street, 5 to 7 minute walks away, really. And
and the views when you get up to it, where we're staying and up to the Frontenac is absolutely stunning.
And another great view in the hotel that we're staying at, not far away. You can see the tower of the Frontenac in the background, and just a wonderful, magical spot for the holidays. And the hotel itself, if you've not been before, the Manoir Victoria would remind you a little bit of downtown Halifax when the Barrington Hotel on on the walk behind the hotel, it's all of the historic buildings, the facade of all the historic buildings. Well, it's the same thing. The Manoir Victoria is the frontage of all of those properties. See the entrance into the hotel with the lady coming out. It's very historic fronts on all of these buildings, but in behind is a modern hotel, and great restaurant within the hotel. Breakfast is included every day on this program, and like I said, it's just a perfect location.
And our walking tour, we will learn so much about the history of old Quebec and Quebec City, and there'll be presentations on this tour about the Christmas markets. Walking tours are a great way to get the lay of the land, but also learn a lot as we're going.
Absolutely. And once again, I always say it's your vacation. So you can choose to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Karen will be having a full itinerary for you and offering. But if you want to branch off and do your own thing, it is your vacation, and that's the nice thing about having a couple nights stay in each spot is that Karen will give you the details of when we're leaving, and you could do your own thing if you want, or be part of everything that's being offered in this program.
But I promise I'll bring you home. Yeah.
Absolutely. I said the only challenge when people wander off and do their own thing is you're not keeping an eye on how much they're purchasing.
But we don't have a border to cross, so that's okay.
Absolutely. So that's okay. We just have to get it all under the bus. And I'm just going to walk through some of the other visuals of what the buildings will look like, the historic buildings. And the good thing about the markets in Quebec City are more reminiscent of the German style Christmas markets. So, there'll be a variety, and what really is attracted to the markets itself are the craftspeople
Oh,
that
absolutely.
do their own thing, and let it be something that's handmade, or something that is handmade as far as edibles. So you'll see everything from maple syrup items to cakes, and certainly lots of chance for you to try those things as we move along.
Oh, it's the sights of the markets, but it's also the smells.
Absolutely. And then after our time in Quebec City, our last day, we'll be making our way back to Halifax.
And once again, driving, but I have lots of entertainment to keep us occupied and busy as we're going from Quebec City and doing our drop-offs, reversing what we've done on the way up, and home sweet home. You'll be in the Christmas spirit. You'll have gotten a great jump start on perhaps a lot of your Christmas shopping, and you've met some new people, but experienced Christmas, I guess Christmas from the old world would be a good way to describe it.
And so once again, to run through the itinerary, the first overnight is in Edmundston at the 4 Points, and then 2 nights in Montreal at the Doubletree, and then off to the beautiful Manoir Victoria in Quebec City before returning to home. And coming from Quebec City will be a full day, so we'll get back to Halifax because we lose time that day.
That's right.
It'll seem later than it is, but it'll be early evening when we return to Halifax and dropping off along the way. And Karen, of course, will keep you updated on the expected arrival based on road conditions and all of that kind of stuff. So once again, if you have any questions, you can reach out to our reservations team, and Peggy, Jessica, and Stephanie are all there to answer any calls, and that's reservation or 1-800-565-7173. And option 1 will bring you right to reservations, or send any questions to reservations@atlantictours.com. So thank you, Karen, for stopping in today and going over our beautiful Christmas markets trip. And something, fairly, as I said, this one's new for us, but every year we're looking at having more holiday offerings. People like to get away that time of the year and experience great destinations. And if at some point you want to go overseas, like I said, I'm hosting the Christmas markets in Europe. And so we do great trips both within North America and through other spots in the world. So we look forward to joining us on the tour soon, and like I said, we'll send this recording out to you as well.
I hope to see you all in December.
I think you should have your hat on for a goodbye.
Oh, I think I should. Yes. See.
Happy holidays.
Oh, happy holidays. See you in December.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. Oops.